It is often said that content is the king. It is indeed. However, for this king to prosper, he needs a very strong army. And this strong army is a speech delivery. Today, I'm going to share with you some wonderful tips about how to deliver a speech effectively. First and foremost, the first impressions. Research says our lasting impressions are more tied with body language and voice modulation and less with our content and words. You start creating a first impression not when you start speaking, rather the moment your name is announced. The way you're walking to the stage, the way you're shaking hands with the contest master, you are already creating an impression. Even before you utter the first word, you would have created an impression if you're prepared, confident, and excited about that story you want to tell from the stage. So, show confidence, show some excitement, run to the stage if you want. Give a firm handshake to the contest master. Maintain a smile, look at the audience for a couple of seconds before you begin, and then stop. Second, your body speaks. If it is easy to observe a person's body language and tell if he or she is confident, believe me or not, it is easier to tell if he or she is nervous. Have an open chest, use hand gestures wherever needed, and make sure your facial expressions are appropriate. One of the most powerful tools you'll have on stage is eye contact. A proper eye contact throughout the speech does wonders. Firstly, you create a connection between yourself and the audience. And once the connection is set, you build trust. And once the trust is gained, your audience believes in you and inadvertently become better listeners of your speech. So the W or M, whatever it is, make sure your eyes are doing their job. Having said that, anything in excess is bad. You don't have to use hand gestures for every action word in your speech. For example, if I want to say, I opened the old wine bottle and poured myself a glass of wine, I don't have to say, I opened the old wine bottle and poured myself a glass of wine. Avoid pointing fingers and showing your back when on stage. Also, eye contact has to be subtle. Your audience shouldn't get the feeling that they're watching a game of tennis. Body language doesn't mean faking yourself on stage or imitating someone else's words. Now, to tell you where to draw the line, please video record your speeches and evaluate yourselves. Remember, do not rely on mirrors because mirrors don't give you feedback. Third, it's not what you say, but how you say. How often have we not seen speeches from champion public speakers who had simple stories, simpler words in their speeches, yet made their audience awestruck with their speeches? Reason, it's not just what they say, it's how they say. Keep it simple. I personally always imagine my audience to be of much younger age. To yet another weapon, voice. Your voice carries your emotion all the way to the listener's ears, to their hearts. A plain, monotonous tone will not leave a good impact. So according to your speech, you need to decide where to go high and low. For example, if the emotion is happiness, you probably might require a little extra energy. On the other hand, if the emotion is sadness, maybe a little low. Apart from intonation, one of the golden tools you can use is a pause. Pauses at relevant places in your speech will again do wonders. Allow for the message to sink in and they help you in transitioning the connotation of the speech, thereby leaving a greater impact in terms of delivery. Once again, record your speeches and listen to them from an audience perspective. Fourth, the stage is yours. Be smart in using the stage. Do justice to the area allocated for you to speak. However, you might want to be a little cautious if you're moving way too much on the stage. Nervousness can do that too. It's suggested to complete one idea or thought at one part of the stage before moving to another. Fifth, use props appropriately. Remember, there are no extra marks for carrying a prop. Use it only if it is required and if the prop is adding value to your speech. And be wise in selecting your prop, because whatever it is that you're carrying, it is going to be with you for those 7 minutes. So make sure it isn't a distraction to your audience. Number 6. Well, I call this the 30-30 rule. The attention span of the current generation is at rock bottom, thanks to technology. If in the first 30 seconds you are not able to hook your audience to your speech, it becomes all the more difficult to do so later. So have a solid start. Make sure you're giving your audience something to look forward to for those 7 minutes. If the start needs to be strong, the end needs to be much, much stronger. Believe me or not, most speeches get standing ovations because of the conclusions. To summarize, focus on first impressions. Remember, they start even before you start speaking. Second, your body speaks. Know your rules and use them wisely. Third, it's not just what you say, but how you say. Focus on pauses and intonation. Fourth, the stage is yours. Avoid moving fast and stick to the designated area. Fifth, use props appropriately, only if they're needed and they're adding value to the speech. Sixth, the first 30 and the last 30. Your chance to win the audience. Apart from all these tips, the best thing to do when on stage is being you. The happiest and the most confident version of you. So get on the stage and set the stage on fire. All the very best.